Can I leave this here? I'll buy it.
Good evening. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me all right? Right. Okay, come and take a seat here. Well, good evening, everyone. I'm absolutely delighted to welcome you here this evening for CUA's first ever hackathon. Woo! Many months in the planning, so I hope you enjoy the next 54 hours because there's so much fun and excitement. So it's your opportunity to really roll your sleeves up and to enjoy this unique style of event. So I've got a couple of bit of housekeeping and then I'm going to hand you over to a wonderful facilitator for the event. So the theme for this event is called Forces of Attraction. You can see it. And we've got a great wall over here which is telling you that we have a hashtag. So we would love you to be social through this event, not only in terms of speaking to people who don't know, but also engaging in tweeting, Instagram, and then for those CUA staff in the room, we have the Yammer Network, so we're going to actually have some special prizes for the best tweet, for the best social engagement, because we really want people on the outside to participate as well, as you guys are tonight, so fantastic. What I'd like to do is tell you we're solving a problem here, how does CUA provide a unique product or service around key life events to attract new members? So this is the challenge for you guys. To put your thinking around how do we do this? And we want you to come up with some amazing ideas and use your innovative thinking to bring through that solution to gathering on Saturday night. Tonight you're going to hear from Sue Porter. She's our Chief Digital Officer, and she's going to give a bit of a context for CUA for those of you that are new this evening. And she's also going to tell you the why this sort of stuff is important as we move into transformation for CUA. We're also going to give you a taste of some inspirational thinking. We have Nigel. Nigel is the global lead partner for Anti-Carney, and he's going to join us to give us some really great insight into some global case studies around the sorts of things that we're solving for this weekend of this 54 hours. So some general housekeeping. So just to let you know that the bathrooms are either side of the midwives, ladies on the left, hands on the right. If there's any fire evacuations, just follow someone in a white t-shirt and they'll help you exit out of the, we should have practiced this before. So I just want to confirm that your phones are on silent. When I did this practice on last Thursday night, someone rang their phone just at that moment, so I have no. What we want to do is use, we've got Wi-Fi, so you can see the Wi-Fi password there, and that's for you to use for the next couple of days. We also have a product called Sway, and hopefully you have an email sent to you that will link you into that. Otherwise, just type in that URL. And Sway will be your program guide for everything you need to know over the next 54 hours. It's got all the details that you need. So make sure you get that, and it's on any device. So we're all digital here, all day, all night, all digital. So just wanting to make sure that we have Vision Films joining us, and so they're going to just tell the story of the event. So just wanting to make sure that if anyone doesn't want to be filmed in a crowd scene or any photos taken, please make sure you let somebody know in a white shirt so we can accommodate. We want to encourage in creative breaks. We've got some whiteboards available, so if you need to do some drawing of the event, please do. And wanting to thank Hayley and Lisa for our team who put this all together, and we'll continue to add to that with your ideas over the time we're here together. I'd like to also introduce the River City Lakes team. They've just been fantastic. So we've got, I'm going to say CUA, but I always get it wrong.
Yes.
Oh, good, yay! Fantastic. They'll introduce themselves more thoroughly, and our wonderful facilitator, Aaron Burkby. He's very experienced in this stuff. He's done several hundred of them, so you're in very safe hands with him. And Peter Ellis will join us later. Oh, here she is. Hello, Peter. And just wanting to thank the CUA support crew, the Hackathon working group, and our extra friends who joined us have been outstanding in terms of the level of detail and preparation we've enjoyed over the next couple of days. I want to acknowledge the CUA executives in the room and welcome them and thank them for coming. And also just wanting to recognise the corporate sponsors that we have. So we've had incredible support from Amazon, Microsoft, SMS, CoreLogic, IBM, KPMG, Finity, Telstra, and ATK. So thank you all for your commitment and support. And the role for many of them will be to work with the participants and to stretch and shape their thinking, and also share some exciting tools that they have available for yourself. So please, as a participant, make sure you maximise your time. Just wanting to recognise each of you coming. We've got incredible diversity in the room. So we've got CUA staff on our front line, right through to executive team, and we've got external corporates here, and we've got startups, and we've also got students. So we've got a real diversity of people, and we also have some government representatives too. So we've really got a full spectrum of people to join us. And the key is that diversity of thinking. That's the bit that's going to push our ideas or shape them into the future. And last of all, I just wanted to welcome you and hope you get a lot out of this event, and it will be fantastic, and wanting to hand over to Aaron. So thanks very much.
Thanks very much, Melissa. So welcome to the CUA Hackathon. Very quickly, if you didn't catch the Wi-Fi details, it's actually the guest network. That's the log on. If you need to take a photo, please do. And also the Twitter handle and hashtag will be competition that will be running this weekend for this hackathon event. So there is this mystery prize as part of the best tweet or the best promotion. It's across both Twitter and Instagram as well. So please make a lot of noise. Please actually shout out to the world that this is happening this weekend. Take note, I will also add the hashtags up here on the board as well so you have them for the weekend. But please pull your phones out. There's certain points during this event where you will want to take photos. You will want to write notes. So please don't take photos of me. But yes, please use your phones at any time. One thing to be careful of is just be aware of what's in the background of your photos. So I don't know if you remember this incident. Someone got fired and I think they got rehired. But just be very careful of what's in the background of your photos, particularly around any sort of IP, because obviously some information will be shared from the CUA this weekend that might be confidential. So please just take a note of that. And as was said before, if anyone's uncomfortable being photographed or filmed as part of this event, because it is live streamed, there is a lot of photography and video this weekend. So just flag that with one of the organisers as well. Cool. The last warning I'll give you is this is not like any other event. This is not a corporate event, despite it being a CUA hackathon. I will swear, mentors will swear, the judges might even potentially swear. It's actually deliberate. We want you to step outside your comfort zone. We want you to understand that this is not like a normal day at work, and not just the fact that it's nighttime. So please get comfortable swearing. So some quick introductions, and first of all, I actually want to find out about all of you. So hands up, who here is from CUA? Majority of the room. Awesome. Well done. Hands up, the startup entrepreneurs. Hands up, hackers, developers, coders. I know there's more of you than that, you're just hiding. Designers, any UI, UX, product design, graphic design, everything. Students, and university school students, awesome. Cool, so really mixed demographic anyway. How many of you are here because you want to learn something new? Cool. Anyone keen to pitch an idea? Like you've got a burning idea, you're going to get up and pitch soon? That's good. Awesome. How many are you here because your boss told you to come? Cool. And anyone here to hire new staff? Often there's people that come just because they want to see some awesome talent. No one's admitting it. Awesome. Hands up if you know what any of these words or acronyms up on the screen mean, or at least you think you do. So over the course of the weekend, you're going to learn a whole new language. There's a whole new methodology that you will actually get an understanding of over this event. Who are the people who've been to, say, more than 5 hackathons or startup weekends or different events? Awesome. Did anyone fly in for this event? Where else from? Sydney. Sydney? Sydney. Anyone from outside of Sydney?
Melbourne.
Melbourne. Sweet. Anywhere else? Oh, that's pretty solid. Sydney, well done. Who are the first timers? You've never been to one of these events before? Majority of them. Alright, so first F1, fucking awesome. Thank you for coming. Who are the people who are just here for tonight and then you're going back to your day jobs tomorrow or back whatever you do? Come on, right up line. Okay, so lots of observers. Cool. So my job is to convert you to participants before I finish talking tonight. Hands up who has no idea why they're here. They're just like, I'm going to check this out. Few people only know. Awesome. And lastly, who thinks we're actually hacking simulators? Cool, laugh. It actually comes up in the Q&A, like, why are we testing the servers at a public event? We are not hacking simulators.
No, someone told me that before.
Yes. Now, one quick thing, I added this one in, but who's actually hungry at this point? Yes, we did run out of food because lots of you didn't register, you just rocked up at the door and gate crashed. So you're actually, we weren't ready for catering, or you just registered last minute this morning after we put the food order. If enough of you are a bit hungry later, we'll see what we can do about it and grab some pizzas. Would that be cool? Yes. Awesome. So that's you guys. This is me. So my background, mostly tech businesses, but over the last couple of years. Starting to dabble in a little bit of angel investing, but have no claim to knowing what I'm doing. My day job, so last year I got to look after the Telstra Near Accelerator program, handing that over this year now full-time on Startup Catalyst, which is doing international missions for youth and startups and investors and others. More importantly, my role for this week, or this hackathon event, is your facilitator. So I'm basically here to make sure you have that roller coaster ride of emotion, that you all get to talk to who you should at what time, step in if any of you start having barneys or blues, but really just make sure you have a lot of fun. So at any point at all during this event, if you have any questions, please come grab me, I'll be here. So this event is a partnership between CUA and River City Labs. Hands up if you've never heard of River City Labs. A few of you. So River City Labs was founded 4 years ago by Steve Baxter, who we know from Shark Tank amongst other things. It's a not-for-profit organisation and it's really a tech hub. So we don't call it a co-working space because it's really a community. We just happen to be surrounded by 4 walls. So in the last 4 years, we've had over 300 startup alumni go through the space. We have roughly 100 members. And there's mentors that come in, give up their time, talk to the teams, and we run a number of programs. One of those programs is the Telstra Mira D Accelerator. So we take 10 teams, put them through a 6-month intensive program, and try and scale them and give them 18 months runway at the end of it. That program just relaunched. We just signed a 3-year deal with Telstra. So for any of the startups in the room or any of you who've built something really awesome this weekend, definitely check it out, consider applying. Or if you know any awesome startups, please help us spread the word as well. And the other thing is Startup Catalyst, I mentioned it before, we take groups over to Silicon Valley, London, Tel Aviv, Israel, and elsewhere. And it's really about changing the cultural mindset in Australia. So one part of it is taking tech-savvy youths for 2 weeks into Silicon Valley and infecting them with startup Ebola. So that when they come back, they go and form startups, or become CTOs in startups, and actually start thinking globally as well. And the way we fund that is by taking startups, investors, corporate executives to different missions around the world. So if you'd like to know any more information about that one, please come and grab it as well. Cool. The other introductions we have to make are the sponsors. Are there any of these sponsors from the room? Hands up. Stand up. Please stand up. Big round of applause for our awesome sponsors. So across the event, they've donated prizes, they've donated credits for access to different services of hosting, they've donated staff to actually come in and help you onboard into different systems, answer questions, give you access to data, in some cases APIs, a lot of cool shit. So if you get a chance, I always say hug one of the sponsors. Please, we want them engaged and coming back and being involved in more events. The organising team, so stand up all the white shirts and all the organisers. They're probably out actually organising. Remember all these people, so they've all donated their time to actually make this event happen. It's been a lot of work in the lead up, so big round of applause for all of that.
Put all this together.
Should last hugs as well, so please hug her. Mentors, I know there's at least one mentor in the house. Stand up. Any of the other mentors in at the moment? Okay. Mentors over here, sweet. So over the course of the event, we're going to be dragging mentors in to come and harass you, give you 15 opinions from 5 different people, all that sort of stuff. They give up their time again because they want awesome stuff to happen here locally. So why are we here? Why are we actually at this event? So obviously it's a CUA event. I think it's really important at this point that we get CUA to come and talk to us about why we're actually participating in this event, why it's important to CUA, and also explain a little bit about CUA for us, for those of us who are not CUA employees. Sue. Does everyone know Sue? Sue is the Chief Digital Officer here at CUA. Sue championed a lot of the original partnerships with River City Labs as well, with Melissa as well. So please come up front and embarrass you.
Hello. 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 It's absolutely fantastic to see so many people here. Melissa and Sinead have done an absolutely amazing job. Before I forget to say that, I just want to say that first off. Brilliant. For those of you who are not CUA, or from CUA, I just thought I'd just give you a little bit of information about who we are. So we've been around for about 80 years. We've got about $12.5 billion in assets, 59 branches. We've got about 950 staff from memory. And we've won the Best Mutual of the Year award for the past 3 years running. So in terms of that, so we've obviously been around a lot, but I've just come back from 7 weeks in Silicon Valley. and seeing firsthand just how impactful digital disruption is being or will continue to be going forward, and how important it is just to get some small ideas and actually work on them and actually see where they go. So if you look at, I've just had lots of case studies, lots of case studies about Facebook, but they all started off as just small things. But yet the impact that they've had on both the community and the people who use them and the people who actually worked on them is just amazing. So I'm really hopeful that we get some fantastic ideas come out of here, and who knows, there might be one as big as Facebook or amongst them. So that would be fantastic. I just wanted to say also a big thank you to the sponsors. I know we've sort of said that already. Another huge thank you to University of Bath. You guys are awesome. And I just want to say, really, to all those participants, enjoy yourself this weekend. This is our first, and I'm hoping it's the first of many. And so I just really, again, want to say thank you very much. It's really important for us, this. CUA isn't a big organisation in comparison with others. And so for us to hold something like this, it's actually inviting other people in and new ideas in. Because we don't have all the innovative ideas ourselves. And so this is really, really important for us to bring sponsors in, participants in who we've never met before, to actually get some really good ideas and help us along our journey. So thanks very much again. And I'm just going to introduce you now to Nigel from called AT Carney. And Nigel's working with us on some of the life changes work that we've done, and hopefully some of the ideas from tonight will actually feed into this. So Nigel, over to you.
Hello everybody, can you hear me? I actually don't need the mic, but I think they need it for recording because it's a small group. Yeah, so my name is Nigel Andrade. Delighted to be here. Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Melissa, for inviting me. I think this is a grisly image that was forewarned. I am going to stand here so you can I actually got a heart attack. I didn't know that was anyway. Jesus Christ. Only a mother could love that. But anyway, I really think my journey with CUA has only recently begun. And it is a wonderful place. I'll say that, and I'll say that because it doesn't have the feel of the big banks. It's really a membership-based organization. It's really about giving back, and that's what makes this hackathon all the more special, because the ideas that you come up with are going to really not just benefit some stakeholders, but they're going to benefit, shareholders. They're going to benefit the members in a very big way. So it's really worth all our time. A bit about myself. So I've been doing this for 19 years now. I lead a team within Connie that, believe it or not, does nothing but life change events. So it's a bit of an eclectic team. It has lead scientists, it has entrepreneurs, it has design thinkers, and what we do is actually work around the world on life event propositions. So this is obviously something that I'm very passionate about. Just about myself, I have a strange background too. I studied mathematics. I then studied to be a priest, a Catholic priest. I then did my MBA. I then joined McKinsey. I then joined Carney, and then I created a division within Carney, which I now lead. So if anybody thinks I know what I'm doing, the answer is absolutely not. I'm sort of figuring it out as I go along. What I thought would be good to talk about today is a little bit about the reality of this space. So I worked in about 27 countries on this topic, and we did a profile about 200 financial institutions about whether they're trying to be anything for the customer. Surprise, surprise, 198 of those institutions are now trying to be customer-centric. And you've got to ask yourself, did they just wake up and suddenly realize there were customers involved? But the fact is that if you actually understand the strategy and how it evolved, there was always something better to do in the past, right? You could push sales, you could introduce a new product, you could do all those things, and now everybody's running out of ideas. So people are going, okay, well, what else do I do? I just have to focus on the customer. So of those 198 companies, I interviewed 100 of them face-to-face over 2015. 80% of them are not satisfied with the way in which their customer-centric innovation is going. And we got to ask ourselves why this is the case. And we got to ask all of us why this is the case. And it's because of very clear weak links in the way people come up with ideas and drive those ideas forward. So I thought in the 10 or so minutes that I have, it would be good to share with you a very boring consulting slide, right? It's a very boring slide. It's not all the sexy stuff that you guys are going to create. But it has 10 things that people normally miss when they're thinking about customer innovation, right? And I'm going to try and distill these 10 things down to 4 themes, which I hope you keep in mind over the next 50 or so hours as you come up with your big ideas, right? So should I just control it? Thank you. Okay. The first thing that people get wrong is whether this is a meaningful and memorable solution that you're coming up with, right? There'll be 10 of these on one page, so you can take a photograph at the end of it, because it's probably easier that way. So there's a bank in Canada that decided that they're going to focus on life events. And they chose the life event of going on a vacation, right? Now, the problem with that is not a single customer cares to go to a bank when they're planning a vacation, right? Because it's not meaningful, as in they're not desperately trying to find a solution. So we got to ask ourselves in the solutions that we come up with, is there a market out there that's big enough, because no point designing a solution for a handful of people, and where the customers really will go, wow, thank you very much, that was really valuable. So I really encourage you to think about the size of the market that you're trying to address. How many customers are going through this event? How many customers are feeling this need? And if you get it right, how many customers are not only going to be happy, but as we'll talk about later, are going to be willing to come back for more? The second thing is, obviously, everybody says voice of the customer. We need to found this on the voice of the customer. Absolutely. I'll tell you a few things, and I may be controversial here. A focus group discussion is the most expensive way to get the opinion of 2 people, right? So I do not do focus group discussions, right? There are various techniques which I'm sure you guys are more aware of than me. Crowdsourcing of ideas, deep structured interviews, all of that kind of stuff. You really got to get under the skin of customers to understand what is it that you're really trying to solve, right? So I'm sure in your solutions you're going to do that, because we don't want superficial solutions which people go, yeah, but that's not really what I needed. The third thing is customers are not standing still, right? They're actually moving faster than you can imagine. So when we're talking about our life events, you know, whether it is, you know, children leaving home for the first time, or getting married, or a divorce. One of my Dutch clients is working on the divorce event, because to the first point, is it frequent? Yes, it's actually increasing in frequency. Great opportunity to get 2 customers where there was once 1. And by the way, I'll tell you something about the divorce event. It has been empirically proven through research that if you are a, say, Bank X customer, your spouse or departing spouse will not trust Bank X. So great opportunity if you have 30% of the market to try and capture 70% of the market. But predicting where the customers should be, where are they heading, not just where they are today. Which is why you don't want to take literally what they say in the voice of the customer research and say, okay, well, they said this, therefore I need this, right? There's really a lot of inspiration that happens, a lot of guessing between what they said and what you actually think you need. So all of you probably have heard the famous statement that if you were to ask, Ford said this, if you were to ask people what they want back in the day, they would have said a faster horse carriage. They wouldn't have said automobile. Right? Also, we need to make sure that we're using the capabilities that customers are getting increasingly comfortable with. All of those in the room, how many of you are above, okay, I'm not going to ask this, above the age of 30, but I'm not going to ask this. Some markets is fine. But I can tell you one thing, we do not understand how the next generation thinks. Right? We just do not get it. So there's been research done, for example, about privacy, right, and the use of information. One generation would say, how dare you? The other generation would be, why on earth aren't you? Right? So the point is that in the way people are accessing things, and we need to design for that. And then finally, everybody's going crazy on omni-channel and stuff like this, right? Omni-channel and all is great, right? It's just a new buzzword. But what we absolutely would encourage is think about the right channels for what you're trying to do. You heard people mention 59 branches, right? I should say people too. You heard Sue mention 59 branches. What are we going to do with that, right? Everything in the world doesn't need to be an app. In fact, you know that we have on average, and I think this number is only going up, 33 to 37 apps on the average Australian's phone. That real estate is crowded. Trying to get another app in there is more expensive or more difficult than trying to buy a house in Bondi, right? So be careful about just coming up with another app, right? What are the right channels you want to use to get these big ideas and these life-saving solutions out there? Okay, so that's mainly on the customer side. Let's talk about 5 things on the on internals, right? Pushing operational boundaries. We always believe that legal compliance, regulatory, etc. Now, for those of you who are new to the banking world, right, they can be your enemies or they can be your friends, right? I'd rather have them as my friends. So you want to get them into the process. If you have mentors from CUA walking into your room, please ask them how this plays out from a regulatory angle, right? Because that is the test of pragmatism. You don't want to come up with something that, you know, doesn't flourish because it actually comes against the wall. You're working in a very, very regulated market right now, right? When you're talking about financial services. This one's my favorite, actually. The worst thing about being customer-centric is we forget that we're running businesses. Even when we are trying to be a mutual, we still need to be sustainable as a mutual, which means the economic trade-off needs to be positive or at least, you know, at par. So we got to ask ourselves, how much is this thing going to cost? And is it going to wash its face? Right? Whatever ideas you come up with, you've got to think business case, not just great idea. There have been so many banks out there who've just thrown money at the customer. You can't buy love, as you're saying, and it applies in being customer-centric as well. So please, please, please think about this. And you know, and in the SWAY document as well, they talk about 3 criteria: desirability, feasibility, and viability, right? Which is the holy trinity of design thinking. But more and more these days, design thinking is becoming all about desirability. And people are forgetting about feasibility and forgetting about viability. Viability is economic viability. So the joke goes, and I swear this was on my design thinking people who told me this, so I'm not being an asshole here. The joke goes that if you were to get today's design thinkers sometimes to redesign an automobile, they'd go out, they'd have a deep structured interview with the customer, they'd ask them what they want, and they'd come back and say, I have an idea for you. We're going to build a teleportation device. Right? Why? Because at the end of the day, what a customer wants to do is go from point A to point B. They don't want to pay for fuel, they don't want to navigate traffic, they don't want to handle pollution, all of these things. What they want to do is go from point A to point B. From a desirability perspective, that is the answer. It does not stand on feasibility, it does not stand on viability. So please, as you think about your ideas today, please think about the economics of it as well. And that's where the MVP concept came up in the slide that Aaron showed, minimum viable proposition. Get something out there, don't make it a Rolls Royce, and then build on it. And I'll come to that in point 10. Go beyond operational metrics. I don't think that's going to be a risk here. And I say that because you guys look cool, and you're probably going to be doing cool stuff. But if you normally go to a bank anywhere in the world, and you ask them what they're trying to do with their, it actually changed over the last decade. 5 years ago, what they were trying to do in being customer-centric is we are trying to reduce turnaround time, and we are trying to reduce time to yes in our mortgages. That is not being customer-centric. That is just being more efficient. Now, if you ask them, we are trying to increase our NPS. That is not an end in itself, right? In fact, forward-looking correlations between NPS and growth are spurious, right? So please go beyond these operational metrics, and please ask yourself, this is a key question, how are you going to know if you're succeeding? In your ideas, and if in the judging panel they ask you, what is your measure of success? Please have something that is really out there, really balanced. Reinforce is a really powerful concept. Often ideas build on the brand identity, right? So if your brand identity is, we want to make the world a safer place. Everything you do in this hackathon kind of ideas should reinforce the brand identity. How many of you know what the promise of CUA is? Put up your hand. Okay, for the rest of you, we absolutely need to find out how your idea is tying into that promise, right? So that you know what you're designing is actually pushing that forward, right? And then finally, in the minimum viable proposition concept, please make sure you're creating something that almost has an organic life of its own. Something that will keep growing, keep building, that has the potential, is not a narrow one-trick pony, but has the potential to be something much broader than that. So I'm going to distill this down into 4 themes and leave you with that. This is the page if you want to take a photograph. I will not charge royalty. The 4 questions you need to ask yourself. Is this a relevant problem I'm trying to solve? Right? Is this a relevant problem I'm trying to solve? Relevant in the sense not just important to the customer, but important to an enough number of customers. Right? That's the first question. All of this can be summarized into, is your idea truly insightful? Right? Does it tap into some deep insight in the client's customer psyche? Right? And you should be able to put your finger on that insight and say, this is why this solution makes sense. Right? So for those of you who, for example, want to know what a deep insight looks like, the reason why people don't donate, I've shared this example with my CUA colleagues already. The reason why people don't donate to heart foundations and cardiac things as much as they do to some of the other things is most people don't identify with cardiac problems. And they don't identify with cardiac problems, why? Because people only believe what they can see. And because cardiac problems are inherently invisible until they happen, people don't think it's happening to them, right? So that human anthropological reality of we only believe what we can see is the deep insight that you can build a solution around, right? So please understand what your deep insight is. The third point, I'm getting ahead of myself, is please make sure it's valuable. Valuable to the customer in whatever way you measure success, but also valuable to the business, because we are trying to create sustainable solutions. And then finally, please make sure that your ideas are dynamic, right? That they can build and grow, and what you're actually creating is a platform on which new ideas can be tipped in, as opposed to, as I said, a one-trick pony. So I've sort of distilled these out to you. I know I'm preaching to a bunch of extremely, I mentioned I was trying to be a priest at some point. I know I'm preaching to a bunch of extremely talented and creative people. So please take these advice with a pinch of salt. Some of it may be useful. Some of it may be you disagree with. I respect that. But our customers are going to thank you at the end of the day. Our members are going to thank you for what you bring to the table in the next 50 or so hours. And I thank you for this opportunity to share my ideas with you. So thank you very much.
Yes. Can we share on social media? Hands up if you've already learned something. Yes, excellent. That was actually incredibly relevant to exactly some of the content now and the whole spirit of this event. So thank you very much, Nigel, for those slides. I want to talk about some other reasons about why this event is important. And you should think of it as very important to yourselves. Have any of you read this report? So a PwC report, I think it came out last year. There was also a CEDA report came out about the same time, both talking about the impacts of digital disruption. And both predicted a very similar thing, and that was that 44 to 50% of jobs as we know them are going to be disrupted by technology. The number one sector that was going to be disrupted, identified if you look broadly across, there's been a number of these reports, but financial services in particular keeps getting flagged as ripe for innovation. So it's very relevant to us now. I found this stat, I can't actually remember the source, but over the last 2 years, 800,000 jobs have been made redundant across the banking industry, and the next 2 years is predicted to be 1.8 million. We're not actually sure the data behind that, but it was an interesting quote. Also, this article, which was out recently, the CEO of the Commonwealth Bank saying it's innovate or die for them. They're actually predicting that they could be wiped out easily within 10 years. Yeah. So you need to stay relevant. You need to be aware of what's actually happening globally. So the slide that I always use is this one. So you all probably remember it from the Matrix, but it's this decision that we have to make as individuals, but also as companies and a country. And that is that we can be the consumers of the change that's happening, or we can actually be the suppliers of it. So we've all heard of Uber, Airbnb, Facebook and others. They're all disrupting different channels, different distribution models. At the moment, most of those are overseas, and we're consuming them. The opportunity we have is to actually take ownership of some of this stuff, actually build something like that this weekend or this event, or onwards afterwards. So you can choose. So those of you that are just observing tonight, you're here just to watch. You can go back to your day job tomorrow, think life is going to keep going the way it is. Or you can take, is it the red pill? I can't remember. Go down the rabbit warren and discover this startup world and what's actually happening out there, and take part in the innovation. And what's actually happening? So, how's it heard of Moore's Law? So, computer power doubling every 18 months, halving in size, getting cheaper. We see it as technology becoming more pervasive, being installed in sensors all around us, chips in our bodies. But this is something interesting. So, by about 2030, one computer will have the processing power of an insect, like a mouse, an animal, a human brain by 2030. But by 2050, they're predicting that one computer will have the processing power of all humans on Earth. And interestingly, there's already software that actually monitors patents, makes minor changes, and submits a new patent. Like, is that invention? I don't know. There's the IBM Watson system, AI, which is outperforming cancer diagnosis compared to professors and the world best practitioners, beating humans in all sorts of things. So it's a really interesting world coming up, particularly for the next generations. But it's not just about tech. It's actually, all these examples, they're leveraging tech, but they're really just different business models. How do you actually come up with a new business model? How do you change a market dynamic? I saw this photo in Silicon Valley a couple of years ago, which I really like, but predicting the end of like business to consumer, business to business models, and everything going peer to peer, like human to human. So what opportunities are there around that space, and particularly in the context of CUA? How does CUA stay relevant in the context of these challenges as well? So to give you an example of what's possible in these sort of events. So this is Leanne Kemp. I use this example because she actually launched a fintech startup during a hackathon event in London. So she's a Brisbane girl. She was over in London, took part in I think it was Barclays sponsored hackathon. Yes, thank you for pointing that out. It's on the picture. Took part in a hackathon, actually pitched an idea, and the idea was using the blockchain to prevent or minimize fraud in diamond trading. Out of that event, she then later got into Techstars Accelerator backed by Barclays. She's now, I think, in 5 countries, I can't remember. Raises a significant amount of money, has a global team doing incredibly well. I don't know if any of you saw a 60 Minutes story not that long ago. Taj, a young guy who was 14, he attended a startup weekend event. He took 5 or 8 grand of revenue in that weekend, like in the 54-hour event. And now actually has a global team. He's put off a deal with JB Hi-Fi, has offices in the UK, has a really solid board of advisors, taken on a significant amount of investment, and today he's 17 years old. So what you can actually achieve in one of these weekends is phenomenal, one of these events. So if you think of 54 hours, there's normally 38 hours in a standard work week. Multiply that by the size of your team over 54 hours, it's very easy for you to actually come up with a working prototype, some really good customer feedback and insights, potentially even customers on board in some way by the end of that. So we often have people come to the pitch at the end. They come only and see the very final pitches, and they come up to me afterwards and say, oh, that was rigged. They all started on that before the weekend or before the hackathon. But you actually get blown away by what can be achieved. So what is a startup? So I threw this one in because I knew the nature of the audience looking at the attendees. So I want to just talk very quickly. When we talk about a startup, particularly people in the startup world, we're talking about something that's leveraging technology and can scale globally very quickly. So we're not talking about another fish and chip shop. We're not talking about a small business. We're not talking about starting up a business. We're actually referring to something that's in discovery of its business model. So usually I like using this definition to the point where they haven't worked out how to make a profit yet, or viable, sustainable, repeatable profit, their business model. So I actually still consider Twitter a startup. Once you actually know your business model, great. Some people put time limits on it. They say it's a business under 2 years or 18 months. I don't understand what happens at 19 months with that definition. Like suddenly you're different, you're not a startup. But the point is you're leveraging tech So I'll give you an example. When PayPal started, I think they're in University of Palo Alto, they had 13 staff. They'd go down the road to a coffee shop and have their team meals. They were making more revenue at that time than every other business in that street with 13 staff. They were leveraging labor to a phenomenal amount by using technology. So think global, that's the theme of what I'm sort of talking about. For this event though, this is the key things. You've heard it mentioned before. Key points: unique, product or service, around key life events, which we're going to talk about a little bit later more as well, to attract new members to CUA. That's the theme of the event. I encourage you, you have to come up with ideas around that for this event. Cool. There is this nice infographic. It is on the website as well. It's basically converting all these life events that happen to us, converted into some sort of solution. So I love Nigel's comment, like actually solve a real problem. Actually get some insights over the next, particularly tomorrow, but get some deep insights. Actually go and stand in front of people, look them in the eyes, see what their body language is like. Come up with some interpretation out of that about what's needed, and actually go back and present it as little tests to see what data you can collect about it. So this is what you guys are all going to be doing for the next 54 hours. So guest speakers, so actually another slide here, so we're looking at jump through, and I'll talk about that photo. So what's going to happen during this event? So number one, everything I'm about to tell you will go through both the Sway channel, and I'm also going to onboard you onto Slack. So you'll get all the information you need to know just in time when you need to know it, but I'm going to present it now anyway so that you're aware of it. But don't freak out, you don't have to remember it. Hands up if you've never used Slack before. Awesome, so that's one new thing you're going to learn this weekend. Basically, an online communication tool. It nicely replaces email because we all know email is broken. But a great way to do quick messaging as a group like this, but also individually within those teams. So very quickly, event logistics, we went through most of it. A couple of key points I want to make. Toilets, males, toilet that way, female toilets this way. We will all get very comfortable with this room because this is where we're going to be working the entire time. We're going to convert it into tables, power boards, everything will be set up here. And on Saturday night, we'll be back here pitching to the judges as well. So we'll spend the entire time in here. You'll get nice and warm and cozy. There'll be BO. It'll be fun. I promise. Food. I shouldn't have done food somewhere here. Yep, great. There are some access issues. So after hours access gets a little bit complicated. So we're going to have some access cards here. If you're just ducking out, you'll be able to take them, come out, come in through the doors downstairs. But at other times, if you're heading out for a few hours, we'll set up some phone numbers or some way that will actually get you back into the building. We'll work it out. It'll be on its way. Right, so it's all on its way. But tomorrow you're fine, so business hours is all good. Couple of other points. Please don't disappear into the other floors of CUA. This is not your chance to go and explore and see locally. Right? Please stay in this room for the event. There are other breakout rooms, but as much as possible, I'd like everyone to actually work from here because it's much easier to make announcements. If we have a random mentor pop in that wants to say good day, you get that opportunity as well. So please try and stay in here. A couple of other points. So very much these events happen by everyone taking care of themselves. So the volunteers, the organisers, they're not here to clean up after you. Please try and clean up after yourselves. And if you notice something that needs to be done, like trash cans overflowing, we run out of toilet paper, whatever it is, come and grab someone if you can't solve it yourself. The spirit of entrepreneurship is about doing. JFDI, which was on my slide before, just fucking do it. Right? Entrepreneurship is all about doing, it's all about execution. Have I missed anything? No. Oh, I've been told there's good coffee downstairs. I'll definitely make it. Otherwise, that's it. Cool. Oh, keep your lanyards too. So it's one way that we know that you are actually part of the event. So you can keep your lanyards on you. Plus, it helps with remembering names. So tonight, what we're going to do, we've had the context. We're shortly going to be doing some pitching. You guys will form teams. We occupy this workspace, and then we actually get into some real action, actually doing stuff, or at least a plan for doing stuff. This is a rough schedule. Again, I will share it later, but if you'd like to take a photo now, please do. Key points. We open in the morning at 8 o'clock. Come on in. We'll feed you at 8:30. We'll run some workshops tomorrow morning from 9. I'll go through what those are in a second. We have lunch tomorrow, so again, we'll feed you again. In the afternoon, we'll drag some mentors in, and they'll bombard you with what they believe you should be doing. This is a really good one. At 4 o'clock, I think this is awesome. CUA are actually dragging in some of their members and customers for a focus group. Like you actually get time to spend with them, pitching your idea, talking to them about their problems, discovering what they need, want, and actually getting feedback. So that's a very important time to be here. I sincerely hope that you are out in the building long before they're talking to customers. We feed you again, and then we kick you out about 11:30. Same tonight, we'll kick you out about 11:30. You are welcome to go and keep working. There is a 24-hour pancake palace down the road. It is very common at these sort of weekends that people don't sleep, they just carry on. So please, I encourage you, if you want to win, keep working. Sunday, rinse and repeat. So please do rinse, it gets stinky otherwise. Key points, mentors coming Sunday morning, about 10 o'clock. Sorry, man, what did I say? Sorry, Saturday. I missed the weekend. Saturday, mentors come in. In the afternoon, we switched to a bit of pitch preparation. So by the Saturday night, you are actually pitching to a panel of judges. You'll stand up as a team, you have 5 minutes, judges have 3 minutes of Q&A, and you pitch your new business model, your validation, what you've actually discovered and learned, and what you think you can do with this idea going forward. We hope to have you out of here by 7. It may run a little bit over time depending on how many teams we actually have. Cool, tomorrow, I make this point. The spirit of this event is get out of the building. So no amount of time in front of the whiteboard, talking as a team, debating, whatever, is going to give you an answer or insight into anything. You need to go and talk to members and potential customers. You need to go and get insights. You need to go and discover. So the theme is very much around get out of the building. That means that some of you will feel like this. Hands up if you're actually in a customer-facing role. So you talk to customers like every day, thereabouts. Hands up those of you that have the luxury of never having to talk to a customer. I've always said my businesses would have been easier if I didn't have to talk to customers. Why is it? Yeah. So tomorrow, I'm going to be doing this all day and I'll probably lose all my hair, but I will be screaming at you to get out of this building. So get comfortable, get out of the building. Go and stand by an ATM. I know it's a bit freaky. Yes, we've had people thrown out of shopping centres, out of the airports. Security guys have said you can't do what you're doing here. I encourage you, wear your t-shirt tomorrow. It is a great softener to open and say, hey, I'm part of an event. I have 48 hours to go and prove the business model and pitch it to that angry guy on Shark Tank. That's a really good way to open their response. Photos are good there. But so this is someone drinking under their desk. One point I want to make at this event for the CUA staff: don't go back to your desk tomorrow. I don't care if your boss is calling you and the world is on fire. I know I might get in trouble saying this, but don't go back to your day job. It's really important you stay engaged. Don't think, I can't do those emails. Stay engaged in the event. You want to get new ways of thinking, new insights. Drinking is perfectly acceptable, but just do it in this room. Masterclasses. So I mentioned we'll deliver some content tomorrow. So number 1, we'll talk about lean startup. So the Met has a methodology. We'll talk about rapid prototyping. So I'm conscious there's not a lot of deep technical talent in the room. The great thing is there's a ton of free shit now that anyone non-technical can use to rapidly set something up to put in front of their customers to make it look like they have it's working. So we'll go through very quickly what they are. Some of the sponsors are going to do some class. I think the SMS guys are going to do some API stuff, or that wasn't true by now. AWS, the same. Anyway, a few people will be doing some different technical stuff as well. The other thing with the masterclass is if you guys need something, we'll spin it up quickly. So we'll try and find someone. The event on a Friday, we have pretty good reach to drag someone in to run a quick masterclass. They are all totally optional. You don't have to attend. If you're out of the building, sell it to customers, half your team can attend, however we need to do it. Judging criteria. So you might want to take a photo of this one if you're not already across it. But exactly like Nigel said, look at this side here. Right. Member validation. How many customers, potential partners, whoever, did you go out and talk to? What did they say? How invested are they in your solution? Could you get an email address off them? Could they pre-register for a bigger version that's coming out later? Did they give you money? How far down that validation path can you actually get? The user experience, how awesome did you make it? Is it a compelling user case? Will customers want to experience it? The business model. Every aspect of how you're going to actually get this to market. How you're going to make it viable, repeatable, sustainable. And then your actual technical execution. Now that's the lowest priority because I'm conscious we don't want text, but what did you actually build? Do you have a working prototype? Do you have something that looks like it's a working prototype? They're the 4 judging criteria. That's what you will be assessed on by the judges. All clear as mud? I will provide a lot more information about this as we go through the event. Prizes. So the awesome stuff is there's actually cash on the table. So $5,000 cash prize, prizes from a lot of the sponsors as well. Mentoring with Steve Baxter, which I think is awesome. Different cash prizes for other reward categories as well. I'm not going to go too much detail about what all the prizes are because really the main focus of the event is actually the educational piece, what you get out of it in terms of connections, insights, cultural transformation, and hopefully some kick-ass products. But we'll go through more of the prizes on the Saturday night. So what the weekend is about, I want to talk very quickly I keep saying weekend, what the event is about and what it's not about. So for those of you that know Hackathon, it usually means I think that people, particularly guys with hoodies, can't talk to people in front of laptops, hacking out code, usually on a data set. This event is a bit more like a startup weekend. It's a lot more focused around actually customer validation. It's a lot more focused around experience-based learning. So we don't have a lot of data sets, but that said, if you are keen on any data sets, please come and talk to us. So we will do whatever we can to try and anonymize some data, at least give you insights into what data sets are available. So the team's actually very keen to do that. So please come and talk to us. If you are looking for insights into what data is available, we'd like to try and get a sample, come and talk to us, and the earlier the better. A couple of things the event's not about. So please leave your ego at the door. I say this at every event. So at every event, there's usually some team that's debating over who owns what, who contributed what. There's always going to be a personality clash that's actually become experience probably. The key thing here is open minds and new way of thinking. So if you're anchored in a belief, this is the best idea in the world, it's going to go viral, I just know it, and we see this in founders all the time, you probably won't get a lot out of this event in all honesty. But if you come in with an open mind saying, hey, you know what, yeah, this is what I think, but I can be totally freaking wrong, and I'm going to go and discover it. You'll get a lot more out of it. Please realize the peer-to-peer learning opportunity that happens. So I encourage you, if you can teach someone something, please do, please learn from others. And it's all about this word give. So it's the spirit of the whole event in terms of giving time to help the volunteers if you know something not done. If you're on a team and you've got 2 graphic designers and another team has no graphic designer, please lend them out. If you have 1 graphic designer, please lend them to another team. As much as it is a competition, we're actually all here with one purpose, to achieve some awesome shit at the end of this event. So if you can, please give whatever you can during the weekend. At the same time, it is a public environment. Some of you will have secret source code or secret insights that you think are worth $1 billion. If you're not comfortable sharing it, don't share it. But whatever you give, I guarantee you'll get that tenfold. So only give what you're comfortable giving. Understand this is a public environment. This mantra is written on my shirt, but you know, ideas are worthless, execution is priceless. I can't emphasize this enough. You know, people come up and they say, I've got this idea that no one else is doing it in the world. Within 10 seconds, you can rattle off like 10 competitors. Probably they have $40 million funding in the bank in Silicon Valley, but that's not what matters. It's actually the execution. So Facebook was not the first social media platform. It was about 13th, I think, at the time. Your goal is actually to be the last. Your goal is to actually be the one that sticks. So the mantra, execution. So traction trumps everything. Traction trumps opinion, traction trumps everything else. At any time, if you are debating anything during the weekend as a team, you're arguing over the best logo or the color or whatever, go and get a customer to answer it for you. You don't get 10, get 100. Cool notes. The last comment, failure does not exist in this dojo. So honestly, it is impossible to fail in here. The only way to fail, so the people who fail are the ones who didn't show up tonight, or the ones that go home tonight and don't come back tomorrow. Right? This is a fail-safe environment. You're here to learn. If someone screws up their pitch, we're going to give them a standing ovation. If someone makes a mistake, it's totally fine. So we actually encourage failure. Have you heard of a word called learn? Learn through failure. It's a bit of a startup mantra. It's a hard thing culturally in Australia to do. We run events, so we had an event at BC Labs called Fuck Ups and Failures. Entrepreneurs standing up talking about their biggest mistakes. Please fail. At every meal break, we'll do a team check-in. That's your chance to do a call for help. It's also your chance to learn, to express the things you fucked up. And it's amazing how cathartic that actually is. Cool, so hands up, who wants to pitch tonight? Who's got an idea? I think I want to pitch. Cool, that's actually pretty cool. A couple of questions I normally get at the break, which I'm going to preempt now. Do I actually have to have a solution or can I just pitch a problem? Absolutely, you can just pitch a problem. That's actually one of the better pitches. You say, this is a massive problem. Here's why it's a problem, here's the size of it. I don't know how to solve it, but I want a kick-ass team of X, Y, Z to help you solve it. That's actually really compelling, rather than a solution that's looking for a problem. Awesome. So, you've all been sitting on your butts for too long. We are now going to do a team building exercise. Then we're going to have a very quick break, and then we're going to actually get into the real pitches. So, actually, I need a couple of volunteers. Do you want to come up? Hayley and who is that? Who might be volunteer? Mel? Sweet. And can you bring some marker pens as well? So this is a game called Half-Baked. So what we're going to do, we're going to all shout out some random words, we're going to write them up on a board, and then we're going to, as teams, you're going to pick words, and you have to come up with a crazy pitch. You have 5 minutes to come up as a team with a crazy pitch. You nominate someone from your team who's then going to come up and pitch that to the audience. And this is designed to be a bit of fun. It's designed to get you comfortable actually standing up in the front of the room. It's also designed to mix you up and talk to people you don't normally cross paths with. So the way we're going to do this, we have 2 categories of words that we're going to throw up. So on this side of the board, we're going to have life events. And they can be as quirky as you want. But life events, so everyone's going to shout out life events. And Hayley and Mel are going to write them up for us. And on this side of the board, after we finish that, we're going to just come up with whatever crazy words we want. Cool? There is none? Awesome. Step up. So you guys just start shouting out life events.
Learning how to fish.
Learning how to fish. Okay, first fish. Yep.
Learning to drive.
Learning to drive.
Midlife crisis.
Midlife crisis. We'll have divorce.
Starting a new business.
New business.
Having a baby.
Baby. First baby.
Gap year.
You dropped your ice cream. First time you dropped your ice cream. How's that? Marriage.
First job.
Getting fired.
And we'll just slide down a bit.
Yeah.
Getting sick.
So we have marriage. First business.
Going bankrupt.
Bankruptcy. Bankruptcy. First car.
Having your income drop.
Yes. What do we call that? Yes, job loss if you haven't had that. We got marriage, we had divorce as well.
Retirement.
Oh, winning lotto, yes. What's the other one someone's going to say? Retirement, that's a big one, retirement.
Get arrested.
Arrested, throw arrested up there somewhere. All right, any other key life events?
First location.
First vote, yep. Buying a house, that's a good one. First house, home ownership. Yeah, I'm worried about this crowd and some of the stuff.
Starting
Awesome.
over.
Any others? You're all yelling at once. 1, 2, 3, go.
Travel.
Debt, travel. Oh, that's right, travel. Now we have to come up with some random words. So I encourage you to think of verbs, some sort of action word, something that will match well. Because what we're going to do, the teams are going to pick one word from here and one word from here, and you have to come up with the craziest idea you can pitch as a starter.
Skydiving.
Just say it. Yeah. Let's go vomit. Any others? Running. Lost. Elasticity. What was it? Transition.
Swimming.
Swim.
Buy-in.
Win.
Believing.
Believing.
Lean.
Lacking, was
Lean.
it? Lane. Let's throw that up. For random, let's throw in circus, cloud, fire, throne. That should be enough. Cool. Oh, crowd as well. Awesome. So now, oh no, I actually don't know the colours. So on your name tags, on the back, you should all have the colour. And they should be random. Awesome. So, if you are red, don't stand up yet, but if you have a red dot on your name tag, you're going to go and stand up in that far corner over there. If you have a blue dot, you're going to be in the back corner over there. If you have a star, you're going to be in the middle, right in that doorway, blocking everyone exiting. What have I missed? Yellow. If you're yellow, you're in that back corner. Green. If you're green, you're in this front corner. That's a blue. Blue's up there. Any others? Does anyone not have a coloured dot or star?
I'm red, green, colourblind. I'm not sure.
Red. Sweet. So what's going to happen? You're all going to go in those corners. You're going to have 1 minute to nominate someone from your team who's going to come and select the words for your team. That's come and see me. We're going to do it as a group. Everyone's going to get a pen and it's going to be a race to get the words. Then you go back, then you're going to have 5 minutes to come up with a startup idea around the 2 words that you choose. And make it fun, right? Just have fun with it. And you also have to select someone from your team to pitch it. We're all going to come back, we're going to take our seats. 1 person from each team is going to pitch their idea to the audience. And then as an audience, we're going to vote on the best pitch, and they're going to win something. All clear as mud. Any questions? Sweet, go forth and occupy your corners.
This spot is the best spot in the entire room. I can get what?
I'm running.
2 large people. Want to say something?
That one, do you kind of room has to focus in last? Takes forever to focus?
Yeah.
You just need better lens for us.
Yeah.
Is it like if you're doing this live there, great.
You're ready.
But 90 minutes, that takes forever to focus.
If you are a volunteer or you don't have a dot, just pick your favourite looking team. Alright, now, 1 person from your team. Very quickly nominate someone from your team to come and see me.
You seem to do great.
One person from your team to come up the front, please. Each team is nominated for 1 person. 30 seconds. 1 person from your team, 30 seconds up the front. 20 seconds.
Yeah.
So serious.
What's that?
No, no.
Now, 1 word from this side of the board. 1 word from this side of the board. When you select a word, you have to circle it with your team colour. Circle it, and you cannot pick one that another team has picked. All right? Ready, set, go. Okay, that got more violent than it should. What are your 2 words? Believing in midlife crisis.
Bankrupt and transition.
Baby and running. Trouble and love. Cloud virginity.
All right, you now have 5 minutes. Go back to your teams. You have 5 minutes to come up with a quirky pitch. Sorry, that one. Quirky pitch for your startup idea.
Trouble and love.
I can see it. When I say it to I didn't read then I have to go back and set
Yeah.
Three minutes left. 3 minutes. Refine your pitch. 3 minutes left. All right, everyone, you need to pick someone on your team. Pick someone on your team who's going to do the pitch. One person on your team who's going to do the pitch. Select them. All right, I need whoever is pitching for each team. Does this team you have someone ready to pitch? This team has someone ready to pitch, someone in the back corner. Someone there. Someone there ready to pitch, awesome. Star team, do you have someone ready to pitch? Someone ready to pitch? Yes? You guys have someone ready to pitch? You guys have someone ready to pitch? All right, everyone come grab your seats. Come and grab your seats.
I kept saying, I need to go.
What I would like is the person description for each team to come up with that. So I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams. Where's the question for the edge?
Oh, yes.
Blue. Yes, one up here. All of you have a picture of your teams, please, one up here. One up, one up. Right. Yes. Yellow. Star, green, red. Red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sweet. Awesome. Cool. All right, so we're going to kick off the pitches. Now, I want you to be conscious of thinking about which one you think is the best pitch, because we're going to do an award off at the end to decide. Who's first? You both blue? Cool. You guys CUA employees? No. No? No, yes? Yes. Yes.
Hi everybody, I'm Susie.
I'm Manuel.
I'm from Brisbane.
Sweet. Yes. All right, what are your 2 words?
Bankruptcy.
Transition. Awesome. Big round of applause for bankruptcy.
Hi everybody. So we started to think about what you feel like if you actually went for a bankruptcy. I've been close to that before, having 4 businesses and a couple of them nearing failure. So I started thinking, hold on a second. If you've gone through something like that, you're going to feel really quite shameful. You're going to feel really emotional. You might feel embarrassed. You're going to have a ton of debt. Well, you would just let it go. But you might have sold your house. You might have lost all your stuff. You're going to feel crappy, just horrible. And then we started to think about what might you want to do, and you might want to escape. And someone in the trip, for example, you might want to have a holiday trip, and I go, oh, you're not going to have any money. And someone else said,
yeah, so we have the perfect product for you, so you will never feel like that. So our product is called Resurrection, and it's an insurance for those people that might get bankrupt. So you can get insurance up front. You can buy it at places like this. So if you're interested, outside there we have some forms. You can sign up. We will take care of you. We will pamper you. And if you get bankrupt, don't worry. We'll take you to the Caribbean. You're gonna relax. You'll be able to focus again. And we will also get you if you want to change your name, change anything. So, Resurrection.
What's your name?
Duncan.
You a CUA employee?
I am indeed. Yes.
Here in Brisbane?
Melbourne.
Sweet.
Okay.
What are your 2 words?
So our 3 words were baby and running. So our idea is, what is something that families, with babies have a bit of trouble with? Funding, of course, and energy is one of the biggest costs. Cost of running a house, cost of electricity. What do babies have too much of? Energy. Way too much energy. So how can you harness this running energy and then running around the place and power your home? Kids are like black holes of energy. We predict 1 child should be able to power the whole neighborhood for a month.
I'm Nick from CUA in Sydney, and I've got a partner here as well.
Hi. So our quirky idea was to, our words was travel and love. And the idea is that there are people who travel all the time and they see a lot of beautiful people and they love them. And actually they want to be their friends. And so what they will have is they will have an app with which they can pay anonymously. But if if they can pay anonymous, if the feelings are mutual, then a chat window will open and they can actually get in touch with each other. So it's like payments with a Tinder kind of feel about it, and you can just travel and have lots of fun along the way.
Awesome. Hands up towards anonymous Tinder. What's your name?
Hi everyone, my name is Matt.
Are you a CUA employee?
I'm a CUA employee. You're in Brisbane. I'm in Brisbane.
Awesome. And what were your 2 words?
2 words were virtual and cloud. Not me, but anyway, it's my idea.
Did you push me out of the way to get that word?
No, so who's a virgin? Too embarrassed? Okay. That's okay. So we've created a perfect game for you. It's in the cloud. And who's had the mobile mic? Yeah. Who wants to be in the Mile High Club? Play a game with other virgins who also want to be in the Mile High Club and get some velocity points. Our partner virgin is offering an app that will let you meet like-minded virgins to achieve the same goals in life that you want to achieve. So who's in?
I'm taking a theme and I'm seeing where I start. Rick. What's your name?
My name is Neil, and this is Marcus.
Hey, Neil and Marcus, are you CUA employees?
I'm not.
Not. Are you Brisbane based? Yes, I am. Awesome. So what do you do if you're not CUA? Call Logic. Sponsor. Awesome. And yourself?
Q-Super.
Awesome. Cool. What were your 2 words?
Midlife crisis and believe it.
Wow. Okay. Go for it.
So, when we look at the midlife, you've got in your middle of life, you often have a crisis. Things go wrong. If is in the mid of life. In Chinese, crisis is also called opportunity.
I can't.
I tried. Apparently this is red. To me it's green. And in terms of believing, and it's to believe in yourself, because I am in the middle of believing. So, if I believe that in the crisis there's opportunity, then do we have the solution for you?
So basically what we came up with was an idea that could actually help you through your life in terms of reverse engineering your midlife crisis. So what you actually do is that you put in what you'd like your midlife to be. Ferrari, data supermodel, whatever. And essentially what it would do is actually pull the data analytics from where you are now and pure analysis against all your peers on how to achieve that. So as you go through your life, get a new job or whatever, and say, look, you need to not stop buying those shoes because you're getting further away from your goal. And as you get closer, basically it just creates that sort of environment and attaches to augmented reality so that, say you take a picture of your Ferrari, it puts you in the car. So you can go, oh, yes. Plus, it's Chinese, so it's bound to be great.
So we need to decide on a winner. So how are we going to do this? What was your colour again? Blue. What were your 2 words? Okay.
Baby and run.
Baby and running. What was it called?
Travel and love.
Travel and love.
Virgin cloud.
Virgin cloud. Midlife crisis believing. Sweet. So I think we'll do it this way. If you like the first pitch, round of applause. If you like the second pitch, round of applause. And maybe a little bit louder, third pitch. Fourth pitch. they all your CUA buddies. And the last pitch. Awesome. I think we have a winner. You won a black tablet. So I hope you understand the point of that exercise was to make you realise that this is indeed a fail-safe environment. You can have fun. Please talk to random strangers you don't normally talk to. So what we're going to do now, we have a very quick intermission. It's a 10-minute break. It's your chance to go to the bathroom, grab another drink, get up the Dutch courage to come back, because as soon as you're back, we're going to do pitching. A bit of a hint, some of the ideas that have won at these events before, they've actually come up with the idea during the bathroom break. I shit you not. It actually has happened. No, sweet. Everyone feeling good? Awesome. Please go grab a toilet break, grab a drink, and then come back in here in 10 minutes. All right, a couple more minutes to go around the bathroom, grab some sugar, sweets, get a sugar beet over here as well. A couple more minutes, and I'll pick up again. Everyone, if you can hear me, just start clapping. Okay, cool. I only have 2 crowd control tricks up my sleeve. One is that if at any point during the event you hear me clapping, that is your cue to start clapping and shut the fuck up. The second thing I have is a whistle. I don't like using it, but I will if I have to. That is also the same scenario. Please stop talking. Cool. So intermission is over. Please come and grab your seats, and we're going to start the pitch process. Cool, grab your seats. Hopefully you've all had some sugar. Alright, cool. So, you need to pay attention to the next little bit. We're going to talk about some rules before we start pitching. So just some rules for the pitches. Number one, your idea must actually be relevant to the theme of the event. Right here. It must actually be relevant to the theme of the event. Clear? Awesome. The rest of it. So a couple of key rules. So number one, can you pitch something you've already worked on before? So no. So to keep it fair for everyone, it's basically got to be a new idea. Now, if you've done some research, maybe you even started maybe writing like 10 lines of code and gave up. Maybe you've spoken to a few friends about it. So the sort of gut rule is if you already have a prototype or a customer, you're definitely eligible. So we want fresh ideas. If you're unsure, are you on the borderline? Is it a grey area? Come and see me. I'll work out. Can you pitch 2 ideas? So if there's enough time, I will call you out if you want to do a second pitch. So some people will have 2, 3, 4 ideas. Pitch your best idea first because we run out of time. That will be the only one we get to. Cool? Is there anyone who would pitch more than 1 idea if we have time? A couple. Okay. What if your idea isn't selected? I can't emphasize this enough. Please don't go home. So a couple of key points. Number one, teams will pivot several times over the weekend. So tonight they'll start working on one idea. By tomorrow morning they'll have feedback and they realise no one wants it and they'll be working on another. It's actually quite common for an idea that doesn't get up on the Friday night to actually end up being pitched on the, on the Thursday night, end up being pitched on the Saturday night. And it's just because they go through pivots, they realise there's a better idea. Number 2 reason, you'll also learn so much going through the experience that you can apply to your idea after the event anyway. So please hang around, stay engaged. Even if your idea isn't great tonight, please stay around. Can I still work on an idea if it's not selected? Yes, so the rule is you need to convince 2 other people to join your team. So there needs to be at least 3 of you on the team, and at least 1 of them needs to be a non-CUA staff member. So we can't have just a team of everyone CUA. All clear? Sweet. Can you use any pitch, props, slides, whatever else? The answer is no. So the way the pitch process is going to work, you just stand here, it's like an open mic at a comedy night, actually very similar. You just stand here with a microphone, give your pitch, no props, you can definitely read off something if you want, but I'll give you a pitch format in a second. It's really easy, but you can't use slides, music, product demos, anything else. Cool. Pitch format. So this is the recommended pitch format. It's very simple. We're going to form a Congo line. We're going to stand out the front. We're going to say, introduce yourself. Hi, I'm Aaron. I'm a tech. I know how to code. Whatever context you want to give, your internal CUA on a particular team, whatever it is, doesn't matter. State the problem. So what are you solving? The problem I want to solve is blah. My solution is whatever you think it is, or you can say I don't have a solution yet. Talk about what you want on your team. So the types of people you need. Like I need someone that really knows insurance regulation, or I need someone who understands franchisee management, whatever it is, right? Pitch the specific skills. Maybe it's you need a developer, maybe you need a designer, maybe you need a particular business skill, a lawyer, whatever it is. Shout out to what you need, and come up with a name that's memorable. So actually put a name to your startup. Cool. Very simple pitch format. It's 60 seconds. I'm so-and-so. The problem I'd like to solve is this. My solution is this. What I need on my team is blah, and I'm calling it Uber for Cats. Awesome. So the way it's going to work. So basically it's a 60-second pitch, like I said. Those of you that want to pitch, I'm actually going to get you to form a line. Actually, I don't think it's there. So I'm going to get you to form a line actually over here, past the sweets table, so you can keep it in. Line up next to the sweets table. You're going to walk over here. You're going to deliver your pitch to the audience. Don't pitch to me wherever I'll be standing, sitting, wherever you're pitching it right here. At the end of your pitch, so there'll be a timer, with an iPad right here. So there'll be a timer counting down to 60 seconds. When the 60 seconds hits, I'm going to start applauding. That's your cue to all start applauding. And if you're up the front, it's your cue to then walk off the stage, hand the microphone to the next person. You're then going to go up the back, up here, to this table. And you're going to write down your idea, your team name on a sheet of paper, a massive post-it note. And you're going to find a spare bit of real estate on a wall or window and stick it up. Now, a couple of key things. When you're standing in the line or when you're filling out your sheet of paper over there, please be quiet. It gets very noisy very quickly. You'll find some of you will be nervous speaking. When you finish, the adrenaline will start hitting and you'll get very chatty. Please just try and keep it down when you're filling out your sheet. Please try and keep it down when you put stuff up on the wall. A couple of other things. Those of you in the audience listening, you're going to be forming teams at the end of these pictures. So I encourage you to take a photo with your phone of the ideas you like, the people who picture. Because after 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 pictures, depending on how you get, you'll forget. You'll forget who pitched it and what it was. So take a photo of the ones you like, write notes on your phone or pen and paper if you're old school. Take notes, pay attention. The other hint, if you're in the queue, listen to the pictures. You'll be standing there going, my name is this. My problem is that you'll be reciting your pitch. Listen to the other pitches because in all probability, your idea won't get up and you're going to want a team to join. And plus, there'll probably be 3 of you pitching the exact same idea. And you won't even realize because you're not listening to the other pitches, which is perfectly fine. But listen to the other pitches. And same, once you put your sheet up on the wall and you go back to a seat, please continue to listen to the pitches because you won't remember what team to join. Okay, so enough. Cool. So I said take photos, have a name, take notes. All good? Any questions about the pitch process? Any questions at all? No? Awesome. So who wants to pitch? Cool, because it's that time of the night. So please, if you're pitching, please stand up, join a corner line over here, near the sleeps table. Join line. Join line. Now. Oh. Okay, can you hear me? Just like up your hands for me. Awesome. As well as clapping, remember you have to stop talking. Please, guys. Please, when you start clapping, please stop talking. A couple of things. Now, those of you left in the audience, you're going to hear a pitch and it's going to spawn a new idea for you. So please feel free to stand up at any time, join the line, and pitch. You don't have to pre-register, you don't have to get my attention, just do that when you're on board, because you will think of something as I and pitch things. There's those of you still sitting that will probably be nervous about pitching. You've got an idea that maybe one day I want to pitch this or I would like to try that. This is the best chance you freaking ever have. So please, get up and join the queue. If anyone really fails their pitch, let's help them, let's give them a massive round of applause and we'll reset the clock. Cool. Before we start, any other questions? Everyone's clear on the process? Pitch, return mic, sheet, wall, quiet, notes, photos. All good? Awesome. I need to find a volunteer. Can anyone? Yes? Big round of applause for Elise. context, the least is Queensland Government looks after a lot of the advanced Queensland funding and programs for startups. Really fundamental stuff that we're doing. Thank you. Who's up first? Sorry, I forgot your name. Manuel. Massive round of applause for Manuel.
Anyhow, so my name is Manuel, and my idea is to bring free travel concierge to CUA. So I already know that Nigel said that it's not necessarily traveling and going on vacation is a life event that might be tricky. So I have 45 seconds to convince you guys that Nigel is right and I am right as well. So it's really simple. CUA brings to the table foreign exchange. We provide you an insurance. We provide you a MasterCard you can use to exchange foreigns outside. We also need to know when you're traveling. If you will tell us, you will be buying things in Phuket and then we might block your card. Really bad experience. So it's not about planning your trip. We don't care about that. It's about those 2 days before your trip that you realize, oh man, I don't have money. I don't have insurance. What are you going to do with that now? So we want to make all that part easy. So when you travel, all you remember is good stuff about your travel and not bad stuff about.
What's it called? 2 words? What's it called?
Free travel concierge.
Free travel concierge. Next.
Hello, I'm Melissa. I'm the local area manager at Caravelle. My focus around first home. Who's ever moved before? Hands up. How about if you had a site where you could register with CUA and say you're moving, and CUA customers actually put their hand up and say they're going to come and help you move, and then you pay it forward, and you actually help other CUA customers in the future to help them move. That's our purpose. Members through life changes, helping each other, fantastic. And I like to call it, I like to move it, move it.
Good the pitch. You have about 20 seconds left. Awesome. Right up there. 2 quick points. So I'm going to change something. Number 1, at the start of your pitch, name the life event. Cool? Because we have to hit a life event. Hit life events. The start of your pitch, name your life event. Number 2, don't forget to say what you need on your team, skill set wise. All good? Number 3, let's go. Big round of applause.
I'm Stuart, I'm an innovator at River City Labs. My idea is around the first home line. Australia is a nation of haves and have-nots. Those who have a house, those who don't have a house. If you don't have a house, all you're thinking about is, hell, how can I get on this conveyor? What am I going to do? My financial future is insecure. What am I doing? But do you really want to buy a house? You're going to move. You want to travel. You want to do all these other things. Your life is uncertain. You want to buy a house, then move, then buy another house, then move, then buy another house. You just spend $500,000 on loans and stamp duties and all that sort of garbage. So what I'm offering you, the person who does not yet have a home, is a virtual home. It's a plan. You can take a loan on your virtual home. And with the funds that you have, you invest those so they grow at the same rate that a house would. You don't have to take on so much debt, and it lets you progress so that you become wealthy. People who are wealthy don't have problems buying homes. People, software modeling, and people who want to buy a home.
Hi, so my name's Duncan, and my Life Rich event that we're effective is every single time a customer contacts us. Now, there's nothing that really differentiates CUA's website from every other bank's out there. And they can be very hard, especially, if you don't quite know what you're looking for to use. And not everyone can get into a branch. So my idea is bringing the branch to the website using the technology of 2016 that everyone's getting, virtual reality. Virtual reality branches. Not just for going in and, just checking online banking, but having a virtual experience, being able to virtually see forms, being able to virtually see our products, all from your home and living room. I haven't got the design side. I need a programmer. I need someone to help me push this idea. Because everyone's talking about virtual reality, but no one's doing it. They're talking about it in 5-10 years' time. That's going to be the big thing. We need to start moving on it now, or else those that don't move on it in 5 years' time are going to be left behind. virtual real-life rich banking.
Good evening, everyone. My name is John from CUA. So you want to buy a new car, boat, house, camel, extension on your property, or maybe a new baby coming along? But you don't have your finances in check. You're bleeding money. So I want to develop an app that can actually display your expenses. So I want the app to be simple, graphical, and you can deep dive into the actual data. So if, for instance, your groceries, billing, gambling, so you can have all that information and present that to them. I would like developers and graphical people, artistic type people in my team. And my team name is X, HD for expenses, high definition. Thank you.
Evening, everyone. I'm Stephen from CUA. Remember when you were a kid and you got your pocket money and then saving it up and buying something special? Well, times have changed. Who has kids? You got kids? Fantastic. My biggest problem, I've got 3 kids of my own, is pocket money. How do I deal with pocket money? In my house, we deal with pocket money with marbles. They put them in the cup. So what I would like to do is produce an app where the parents of the kids can create a number of tasks, put a value to those tasks. The kids then do the task, and then the parent can then say, validate that idea, and then once they get to pay across. We live pretty much in a cashless society, so instead of giving coins in the old historical way, the money gets transferred into their own account using PayPass technology, and also want to use a Bluetooth step meter to get them off their tablets. Name, mine, mini, money.
So remember, guys, team name, remember the live event pitch. All good? And what's your name?
Hi, Lamani. So when we talk about life events, we have different life events: marriage, house, car, and bank doesn't give us free money. So everyone needs to save some money. But the traditional model of bank has very bad deal for this: term deposits, checks. So my idea is to flip this business model and to have goals, wherein you can enter goal, a car, a marriage, or a house, and you can set time duration to achieve it. Let's say a car is set 6 months, or marriage, for saving for marriage you set 1 year, and saving for house you set 3 years. And flip the traditional term deposits to have these goals as products. That's my idea, and the name of my idea is goals.
Hi guys, my name is Ali Fielding. The problem I'm trying to solve today is for home loans, and that problem is that when you make a decision about what home loan to go with, it's not just the rates and figures that you take into account, but also the advice of the people that you love and respect. So my idea is combining the facts and figures of home loans that we currently have on our recommended page with the access to the people that you respect who are in your Facebook network that also have those types of home loans. So the people that I'll need to solve it are creative thinkers and potentially people that know anything about APIs. And the name of my idea is influencer banking. Cheers.
Hi everybody, I'm Susie. The problem I'm dealing with tonight is paying off debt, which often happens with when you're starting over in life, which happens to a lot of us. And the idea I have is about CUA really caring about the customer. I'd love to see an online community. I'd love to see an app like MyFitnessPal, and looking at actually putting in when you change your behavior. Like I was going to buy that wine and I didn't. I'm going to go buy a bottle at home, so I've saved $10 and put it in, and some type of gamification. I'd love to link in with the guys I did at Goals, and love to see hosts in the branch that aren't selling you anything, but just getting to know you and telling you about these ideas and packages and so forth. And I think it would really work. Thank you. Money mindset.
Hello, I'm Mark, and what I want to look at is buying a house. And I think the real logic is what most people feel when they buy a house is, wow, that real estate agent was such a and so my idea is P2P. We lend the money. We want to put people together. People who want to buy a house, people who want to sell a house, put them together, cut out the middleman, we provide the loan, and I call that no bullshit.
So money and mindset, just need to fill out a sheet.
Hi everyone, my name's Matt. I actually had an idea beforehand. I've discussed with a couple of people. I'm not presenting that idea, so I'm a couple of you to present that idea a bit further than me. So if you're not standing up, I encourage you to get up and do that. So this is my actual idea. It's called Find My Dream Home. I don't actually have this list, unless that's what I need to do. I need people who are a bit older, people who have the experience in buying homes, people who are a bit younger who are struggling to get into the market, and the people who are a bit in between, you know, either buying an investment home or looking for a holiday home, that sort of thing. So find my dream home. Imagine if you're driving down the road and you have an app. So actually, sorry, starting again. Who's used realestate.com.au? Yeah, that was so last year. I've got the app for you because it connects everyone who's using realestate.com.au. Think about adding Google Earth on top. Think about adding RP data on top. You're driving down the road. Thumbs up.
Hi guys, my name's Ben, and I'm looking at health insurance, which is an extremely unsexy industry and a piece of engagement I've seen over the years, the last 20 years. Problem is, I call up the health insurance, I tell them I'm somewhere between mid-20s and mid-30s perhaps. I'm male and I'm a non-smoker. And then this guy here clearly works out, very fit, answers the same questions, but we both pay the same premiums and get the same benefits. So how do we differentiate? The answer is integrating things like Fitbit, things like all other health accessories that record your activities. And then once you hit certain targets, say you walk 10,000 steps per day for a month, you get a smaller premium, or you might get a benefit like a massage. And that way, you differentiate your health insurance offering from everything else that is out in the market at the moment, which is very important. I am a novice Rails developer. I'd like someone else to help with the Fitbit API. APIs.
I'm Andy, and from CUA Direct. The problem I'm trying to solve is the lack of flexibility in our debit cards. At the moment, you either keep it safe and sacrifice convenience, or take the convenient road and have to deal with some problems later on. The debit card I'm trying to develop with developers, IT people, and somebody from the legislative side as well, is a debit card where you can toggle pay pass or payway on and off. You can change your limit on your mobile as you go from 0 to however much you want. You can skip using credit, therefore you're not going to pay the surcharge if you pay for a holiday, there's a life event. Pay for a car, a life event. You can jump your sky's the limit or your bank balance practically, and you can manage all that through an app, online banking. So the idea is best of both worlds.
Hello, my name is Neil. My problem with my son. My life event is leaving the nest and taking the wallet.
Oh, nice.
I have my son who's 21 and he left home. And about 2 weeks before payday, I get a call out of the blue. He says, Dad, how you going? You enjoying yourself? I said, yes, yes, yes. Anything else? Oh, I've run out of money, Dad. I forgot about this bill. I forgot about that bill. What I'm looking for is people who understand the 20-something psyche, who know about the multi-channel things, so that he could be a WhatsApp, Snapchat, whatever, to sort of say, oh, it's Siri here, you spent $50 more today than you should have done. Oh, and by the way, in 2 weeks' time, there's this bill coming up. And please don't use that rabbit loan thing again, because it costs you a fortune. Just tell you that. My name?
Time's up.
Bank account is closed.
G'day, my name's Chris Drake. I'm a cybersecurity startup and a developer. We're here for a purpose, and it's in black and white to attract new members. So the key life event I'm going to choose for that is starting a new business. When you start a business, you must open a bank account for it, and best practices don't use one you've already got. Sorry, I'm frozen here. What do you need? I need developers and I need designers and people to help. We're going to build something real that actually works. It'll be an API service that allows other people to build stuff, and then we'll build something that uses the API, which will be something like a one-button BAS or a prediction service that tells someone with a business that they need to manage their money differently. Money is really hard for people to understand, so $1 a day is not worth $1 way in the future, and houses and things appreciate. So we can help people by having a safe, secure way to
Hi, my name is Karen. I'm in branch network. What we find is a lot of kids come in to open up accounts. They're new to open their first account, they're starting their job. They've got no idea about accounts, how they work. They've got no idea about interest. I sat there for 10 minutes the other day trying to teach this 15-year-old what interest is on account. No idea how it works. So what I'd like to do is be able to design an app that will go to schools and teach the kids how to budget, how to save, how an account works and how the whole process works, even from starting an account to actually going for your first loan. So they can see what happens when you go for a loan. You get credit reference checks, you get all these things. So it's teaching them going forward what it's all about, because you don't want them to have a bad account, it's the other way they deal with it. So this is what my idea was. Help our kids say no. I'll work for that.
Hi, my name's Lisa. My problem hits most life stages. Mine is about e-statements. At the moment, I'm finding more and more providers are hitting me with more and more e-statements instead of in my mailbox. What I need is something that takes all my e-statements out of my mailbox, sticks them into one location, puts them into a date order that then somehow links to my online banking, and then I can press one button and they're paid on the date they're due. In that app, I'd love to be able to also, those ones that do come in the mail, take a snapshot of them, and they be able to identify keywords, identifiers, due date, total amount, stick them in there amongst all the other bills, and then everything is solved. I'm not missing my bills. The name is bills paid on time. Yep.
Hi, my name is Lee, and I was thinking about how you gain customer loyalty and be able to sell more new products to the same crowd of people that you already have, as well as gaining new customers that will be loyal. So, I mean, banks have a lot of information about all of us. Even when you browse the websites or anything, you go to one website, the other one knows what you're doing with the other one. So, I mean, we're not trying to push this thing that far, really, except to get customers to opt into allowing the bank to get this information on you by providing you with an app that you can put your information in, such as your income, your expenditures, your planned holidays, your events, your kids, your things that you can't get out of spending on. And the bank can
Time's up.
Count me in.
Sorry guys, sorry. I just tripped there. So shit happens in this life. Right? We are talking about life events, we are talking about good events. How many of us has good events? Everyone. How many of us have shit events? Most of us. So my problem that I want to solve
is about hardship. When people go through difficult time, I personally have suffered hardship. I was unemployed for 5 months. I'm suffering from severe depression right now, taking medication on a regular basis. Standing, I have been here in Brisbane since 8 o'clock. Can't wait to start my pitch. I was asking this madness and let me talk and pitch my idea. So my idea is to bank CUA to go to the members proactively when shit hit the fan. And my idea's name is CUA Phoenix, which rise from the ashes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hello. Hey, I'm Bowen, and my idea was just echoed a little bit before, so not brand new. I was interested in the first homeowners and mortgage market, and I thought a lot of people have difficulty kind of visualizing what's happening in the market. A great way of getting around that would be to overlay the information on a map, so you could visualize, how this market goes up or how that market goes up. Someone's not from around Brisbane, but they still want to invest. How's Paddington right to the surrounding suburbs? Is there better parts of Paddington? And for this sort of idea, I'd really like to get people that are both technical and creative, and maybe someone business-minded to help get it ready.
Estate mapping.
Hey guys, I'm Lily. So what do we want? It changes all the time. We don't know what we want half the time, and then as soon as we do, it might change again. When we, as CUA, we have members that we want to be for our members. So we can take the financial aspect, but what about the experience aspect? There's parts of us that at certain life stages we're asset rich but experience poor. How do we bring these markets together? How do we as CUA act as the facilitator to these relationships and let our members facilitate this, let our employees grow further with our members? How do we match our members' needs to their wants and also predict them as well? Like I said, they're always changing. So this idea is called Match, and what I want is just a diverse group of people, different life stages, and feeding into particularly starting off as a first home owner, a peer-to-peer platform to have that deposit started, etc. Match.
Hi, I'm David. My life event would be attending uni for the first time. So as a uni student, one of my biggest pains is to make 1 million friends at a week, orientation week, going out with friends, and then eventually paying new friends who I'm sort of close to, but not really close to. So my idea is to be able to pay with an algorithm-generated code such as Word, and eventually, socially, casually, be able to chat with acquaintances, new friends, and of course, that cute girl across the bar without needing an identifier such as a BSB account number, an email, or a phone number. So I'll need a developer, a designer, and my idea is WordPay. Thank you.
Has anyone not pitched yet that wants to pitch? Anyone not pitched? Anyone want to pitch a second idea? We have at least one. I don't allow it. If you do want to pitch a second idea, please come join the queue. If any of you do want a last minute rushing, please join as well. What's your name again? Figure out what's from that for the second idea.
So, life events. Your house is your biggest investment in probably your whole life. And you can go through a number of life events, such as having a baby, moving interstate for a new job, getting a promotion, having a death in the family and needing to get a bit of extra cash in the hard times. If you're owning a property, imagine having an app where you had information about your property and current value that it's at right now, and being able to know how much equity you can access in your current property. Say you 10 years ago, you have an extension on your home, on your house for a new child, maybe a pool because your kids are growing up, maybe the holiday because you just got a promotion, or an investment house, or a holiday home. Imagine if you needed to move and you wanted to make a decision between selling your house or renting it out. You wanted to know how much money you could get in rent. Thumbs up. My dream home. Sweet. Yes. No problem.
So no idea, just a problem. In life, one of the best experiences that you can have is becoming a parent, so first child or second child, whatever it might be. One of the real challenges for mothers and parents is to feel that they are financially secure to go in and do that. So leaving a two-income household into a one-income household for a period of time is a huge stress on families when this happens. And it's a stress that doesn't need to be there, and a stress that CUA arguably has a role to play in. How do we sponsor our members in that period for that first child? How do we pay them to take that time, or how do we give back to them so that financially they are free to take that time with their family? I don't have the answer. Maybe one of you do.
Definitely a big problem. With bankruptcy insurance, married kids.
Problem statement as well.
Yeah.
You actually gave me an idea. Problem statement, I don't know what the solution is, and I'm going to go the complete opposite of where you're going to get down up. I'm really sorry. Domestic violence is a major problem, and I think financial security is a major issue for people leaving relationships. So I'd love to see where we go leverage purpose in a way security for members to destigmatize that issue, really bring it to the front and find a way to see where to be socially responsible, help people leave those relationships, remove the issues with the financial security there, find a way to assist in that way. I don't know what the answer is, but I would love to see CUA take the lead on that. As far as I'm aware, there's no one who used to be doing it. So.
Marcus from Logic. Look, I think one big problem that is that everyone has is around superannuation and I guess their retirement or transition to retirement phase. So superannuation is boring, very boring. Like it's taking maybe 10 or 20 years of that. But essentially, like the visualization of your super combined with the property of the asset, there's nothing in market at the moment. So you have something like whether it's web-based or whatever. So people can actually see what their house is worth now, what it's prospectively worth in the future as well, if there's any equity, and also showing you your super sort of balances across the sleeve. Not really not a solution, but it's fine.
Awesome. Do you want to run up and your eyes pitching?
This idea might connect to match. I'm not sure yet. So young people, millennials, they are more and more ready to get their first house, but unfortunately they don't have the money to pay the deposit. So my idea was to use family members, friends, but you don't want to give the money without anything. So my end a peer-to-peer deposit borrowing, so that then that person can come to CUA and ask for the loan and have the security they need to ask for the full loan. So you might connect to Lydia, we'll talk to her and see if we can merge the two. Thanks.
Okay, so the idea you touched there on helping DV victims actually really struck a chord with me. Something that I actually thought might be, it's more of a health thing and would involve the community, is a notion which is community funded. So have community members have a social media style of crowdfunding to a fund, so that in cases like that, and it doesn't have to be limited to that, it can extend to quite a few different crises, that CUA can help raise funds and potentially offer no interest style loans and long-term loan solutions that normally no other banks would be able to offer. I think that's one aspect that you can take that on.
Okay, nice. Final call, absolute final call. Does anyone else want to pitch? Is this a problem? Yes. Anyone else? Is this our lucky last?
Line up again.
So I think one of the biggest threats with the banking industry is peer-to-peer lending. So why wait for them to take over instead of bringing it in-house? So the information we already have on our customers, their background, we know we've done credit checks on them, so we know they're secure. Why not build a platform for people to share money? Like you go into your app and say, I need this. You go into the CEO and say, I need this much money as a security deposit for my first home loan or something else, and then someone else can help you do the lending. And you can then further extend this product to things like, I just had a baby, I need a support group, or I'm buying my first car, but I can't afford it. Can you buy a car share or home share? M2M.
Hi guys, I got into 3D printing a little while ago, last year, and one of the things that I sort of realised that how do visually impaired people know what the CCV numbers on the back of the card, the front of the numbers on the front of the card are actually embossed, and you actually, I think they can feel it, but the number on the back is not. So my idea was using 3D printing in each of the branches, and the visually impaired person can bring their card and you can 3D print the numbers on the front of the card plus their CCV. So when they go shopping or online, I'm not quite sure how they work. At least they can have that sort of sense of independence, that they don't have to have someone else reading out the number on the back of their credit card. What's it called?
3D printing.
3D card. 3D card.
Sorry, I'm not going to teach, but I got the idea with your first child. So that's all about the community purpose as well. If you live in that particular area and then it's your first child, then you will just facilitate or create a group, and then people will just have anything that you already, for example, I already have a child, and now my child grows up, and I don't need these kind of things anymore, and then I will just donate that, or put that into a community group, and then that group will just distribute to the person in need, or we'll just have a platform for people to trade in that kind of products, and then or they can exchange, like for example, I need napkins, but I don't need that kind of milk bottle anymore, and then people just like pay any price that is up to them, and then apart from that, we'll go to charity for the kids, they for orphanage or and the other kids in need. I don't have a name for that. It's just about your idea about the child. It's just came to mind. I'm not prepared to pitch today.
Well, first child, you should write it up anyway. Someone might steal it.
First child, sorry.
I came up with an idea for mine. I've got name CUA Angels.
Sweet. All right, we're going to call the last drinks on the last pitch. So everyone, please, a big standing ovation for your asses and the young.
Yes, I'm back, baby. That's what they said last time. My idea is again a service-related idea, and the idea is CUA when calls and talk to members, talk about a lot of things about the house, the child, about the car. I still remember Inga told me that she called her car Volta. I can't forget that. But next time she will talk or call CUA or talk to a branch staff, nobody knows that. We should actually come up with a system where every time a member tells us about them, that they have a child whose name is Bobby because he has a weird haircut, we should document that. And in 6 months, 12 months time, if we actually talk to them, we can ask the member and say, hey, how's the Bobby's haircut down? That will connect the member, that human to human relationship. So my idea's name is Volta because of Inga's car.
One left. Very last one.
Hi guys, I've never done this before. I'm Sam from CUA, and what I'm trying to solve is actually to how to increase new members. So CUA is not just a bank.
There's a conglomerate of different companies. There is financial institution, there's health insurance, and there's also credit corp, which provides gap insurance to people. So there are so many different customer bases, but there's so it hasn't actually merged. There's a lot of cross-selling opportunities that hasn't been formed. There's a lot of members from CUA Bank that doesn't have health insurance. So what I'm proposing is a solution to have bolt-on products with home loans. So if you go to a bank having a home loan, 2 basis points higher, you get health insurance. Or we can actually sell your car insurance and travel insurance together, and you actually bolt on and have discounts for like more CUA products that you have, the more discounts you have. And that actually helps to keep members into CUA, bringing new members in because health insurance members actually do not have a relationship with the CUA API. So that's my pitch, and I need help with like products or anyone who knows how to package and market this product to this members worldwide. Bolt.
So this could actually carry on all night. I mean, the fantastic thing you're seeing is actually new ideas spawning as other ideas are mentioned, and that's what's going to happen for the next 38 hours, whatever it is, a bit more than that we have left. Couple of key things I want to say. So first of all, hearing those ideas, just remember the context of the event, what we're actually looking for. Let's break that down a little bit. So you will want to spend time, once you form teams, actually mapping those life events that your pitch, your idea, your solution, whatever it is, that they actually relate to. Lots of startup founders, they do ideation sessions. They sit down as a group and come up with ideas. I encourage you actually to think of the problems. Think of the problems first. What are the big problems at those life events? What are the challenges? Actually do some problem mapping, do process mapping. Think of how you can, think of the big challenges to go after and then start looking at the ideation and solutions. A couple of you have to chat to each other and maybe join forces. And what was the last one? I can't read my writing. Oh yes, the last one was think about the new members. So universally across the banking sector, because there's an interesting thing happening where customers are getting older and they're dying. And there's this aging demographic. So how do you actually access younger generations? How do you access different demographics of customer? And lastly, think about as well all the data that CUA is sitting on. Like every transaction that people make going through accounts, what insights can you get out of that? What external data sets are available that you can actually get some really important key data or insights out of and actually apply that to value back to CUA members or internally around their other things. So think big. I encourage you definitely think big. Think about data sets that are available. Think about how you can solve big problems this weekend for the life events. Awesome. So now we're going to get into voting. So actually I need all the volunteers up front. All the volunteers please, if you come up front. So it's a very complicated voting process involving post-it notes. Everyone's going to get 3 post-it notes. I'll 3 post-it notes. Now, you use them to go and vote on the sheet. So you stick your 3 post-it notes on any of the sheets that you like. You can vote in any way you want. You can put all 3 ideas on one sheet. You can vote for your own idea. The only thing you cut and vote many times. Okay? Grab 3 and vote. Founders, you should vote very quickly and then stand next to your sheet of paper because people are going to want to ask you questions. Everyone clear about the voting process? Awesome. Grab post-it notes, come and see me if you don't have any, and get to voting. We'll give this about 5 to 10 minutes, so vote quickly. Vote very quickly.
I have no idea.
That's my best. That's my best thing. Problem with that.
But was horrible.
Hey, Mark.
Vote. Once you have voted, you can go grab some pizza outside. But you have to vote first. Vote, and then we feed you. Vote. Remember, there's some sheets down this end of the room as well. They're spread out everywhere. Vote, vote, vote.
Excuse me. I was going to move this one next to this because it's kind of derivative, so I just thought it would help. Yes. Where's the one? Where's your one? Where's it?
Even if you're not participating, you can still vote. If you're a volunteer, you can still vote. Once you've voted, then you can eat pizza, but not before. Vote, vote, vote.
Don't worry about that one. That was just my addition to the
Oh,
idea.
okay, yeah, that's good.
Put on that one. This was just a derivative idea, just me trying to give you a bit of an idea on how it was done. It's got like 2 things on it, so it's not going to happen.
Couple more minutes left.
This one I actually really liked this is where he's talking about DV pictures, where I sort of like his idea. Yeah, well, that's why I put mine next to it. So it's like, okay, here's the way you might be able to do it. I'd actually be happy to get on board this one because my VR thing is really nice. What's yours? Well, he actually said something about Nils.
Don't know, don't stand next to it.
Because people only have 3, so by the time they get to it.
Once you've voted, there's some food, there's some pizza outside. Once you've voted, please grab some pizza.
Any money and 3D printing one.
What does that one do?
All right, if I could have a couple of volunteers, please. A couple of volunteers. Any of the white shirts, volunteers? Anyone? Couple more volunteers.
Stick it on to me. If somebody wants to ask any question, they can ask me any question about my idea. And the value embodiment of my idea. It says like you have to stand near your idea, and I can't stand any closer. And then you can't stand any closer.
So feel free to, what we're doing right now, we're tallying up the votes, so we're counting the votes. Feel free to leave to go to the bathroom. We're going to be sitting, actually no, we're going to be coming back to this room in about 2 minutes.
It's much generic. It's not. It has all the aspects of hardship. It doesn't have the kind of life events, yes. Splitting up, disability, You can go to mine. You can join the if you're in part.
Where's mine? Mine is, yeah, I think that mine should join
together. You can partner.
I think
Yeah. I'm running mindset here. I think that actually our mindset are very similar.
I think so. I really find work together and make a big form.
Yeah, and you know what I love about it is that I do this now. I actually change the name of my
sorry. It's like okay,
Have you voted?
Yes, absolutely.
You have not voted for me. Have you voted?
Where is it? That's a typical one.
You can vote for me. Vote for me, my friend. Sure, give me a vote.
Sure. There's a vote. I voted already. I don't want to double. So who did this one? Is it yourself?
Yeah.
Did you vote for yourself?
Yes.
Volunteers, what's your counting demands? If already counting, you can include the results.
Had to.
So what I did is
Everyone can come back in the room, just come back in the room, you don't have to sit down, just come back in, everyone back in the room. Sweet, so if you can hear me, just start clapping your hands, I know it's going to be hard on one hand, holding through, everyone stop talking, stop talking, stop. Alright, cool, hopefully everyone's in the room. If anyone's standing there at the door, can you just scream at the people who are outside the room, please come back in. Awesome. So very quickly, we have some results. So we've tallied up those that got the most votes. Now a couple of key points. Guys, will you just tune in? Guys, will you just tune in, please? So the results, just a couple of things. We tally this up. This is just an indication of the ideas that were most liked. By no means should you be offended if no one voted for your idea. So number one, almost always without fail, the team or the idea that got the most votes doesn't end up forming a team. We all like it, but we don't want to work on it. It's bizarre. Equally, there'll be something that doesn't get any votes that ends up often placing at the end of the event. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to shout out the best, what have I got, the best 7? The most voted 7, these were the standout above the other counts. If I shout out your idea, please come and stand up the front just to remind the audience of what you look like. So number 1, with 23 votes, big round of applause. I know you're in. Virtual phone. Second, very close, 22 votes, security, going up. Security. 16 votes was gold. Yes. 15 votes. The vote, sorry, was Bolt. Bolt, come up. With 13 votes was Bills on time. Bills on time. 12 votes was No BS. No BS, come on up. And 11 votes was My Money Money. My Money Money, come on up. So well done, you had the most votes, but like I said, all the other ideas are definitely still in the game, and many of you should consider merging. But please remember these spaces, because what's going to happen now is we're doing team formation. And this is really where we hand over to you. And this is where you actually now have to go and hustle. So those of you that pitched, you have to hustle and pull a team together. You have to convince people why you're over for the next 48 hours. And for those of you in the audience, it's your chance to actually go and talk to these founders, ask them, find out something about them. Why do you want to pick that idea? Why do you want to solve that? What skills can you add? How can you help them? So this is very much a conversation. It's a fluid process. We don't force you into any teams, and I encourage you, if you came thinking, you were already set as a team, I'd encourage you to actually split up. So I want to go through a few team formation tips. So number 1, we say this in the startup community all the time. You need a hipster, a hacker, a hustler. And I'm going to go through what that actually means. The point is you need at least 3 people on your team. So if you pitched it, you need to convince 2 others to join. And for CUA staff, you have to have a non-CUA staff member on your team. So this is what a hacker looks like. If you've never seen one before, usually wearing a hoodie. There's not many hackers at this event. Hands up the hackers again, coders, or anyone that can write any sort of code whatsoever. There was more than 2 of you before. Yeah, 3, 4, arms like this. Also a hipster, so someone who's graphic design, product design, someone who can make things look really freaking cool. Yes, some of the same hands, a few others. Awesome. There's a lot of free tools we can throw your way as well. A hustler, so someone can sell something to anyone. You need someone who's comfortable going out. You need someone who's comfortable going out and actually talking in front of customers. Someone who can sell it to partners, suppliers, other people who you need in the system. You also need a banker. I've been told this is what they look like. Not a CUA. The other key point, so you need diversification. Go for gender diversification, go for different demographics, different skill sets. Do not make the mistake of picking people just like you. You actually want some different points of view on your team. You want to challenge all those 50,000 assumptions in your head. So pick people you need and based on the journey that you want to go through. So form a well-rounded team. Pick a team for a journey. So a founder came up to me once at one of these events. He came up and said, "Oh, I really like this team over there. I think they're going to execute really well. I think they're going to win the event. But I chose the team over here because personally I'm going to learn so much more working with this team than with that team." I encourage you to think about your own personal journey this weekend your own personal cultural transformation, the way you look at the world, but also actually your skills, what you can learn, human management, everything else. So really be conscious of the team you choose. Last point, you have to hustle to get a team together. Do not just stand by your poster and then no one's talking to you. In all the two, like, what have we been here for? We've been here for a long time already, like 5 hours, 6 hours, something like that. You should have been talking to everyone in this room to find out who you want to work with. Always selling. Hustle, 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 get a team together. Cool. Last couple of comments. So it's over to you guys now. You go and stand by your posters, wander around. Even if you're not standing up here, you are absolutely still in the game. Like I said, remember as well that ideas that don't get up tonight often will get up, by Sunday or by Saturday night. I was going to say something then, tell me done. Oh yes, so teams. You have until tomorrow to actually choose the team that you definitely want to be on. So if tonight you've got any bias towards one and tomorrow morning you change your mind, that's perfectly fine. We settle the teams tomorrow morning. We get you to lock and commit to a team. Now that said, sometimes teams will fail, they'll split because they can't work on their product or they'll come up with it. Couple of things, the volunteers are going to help me convert this space. You're all about to be standing up and talking, so we're going to convert this into tables and chairs. Once you have a team, you go and occupy a set of tables, take your team poster with you to identify your team, and sit down and start work. That's the team name stuff. Tonight, what should you actually do tonight? So a couple of things. Number one, I'll come around to you and you need to give me all the email addresses for your team because I need to get you into Slack. Number two, come up with a plan, like introduce yourselves to each other. Talk about your skills, your roles, what the value you can each deliver. Talk about the problem you want to solve and actually come up with a bit of a plan of how you're going to validate it. Now some teams by tonight, before they go home, will put surveys out. So in the Slack channel, when you get in it, there's a link to the Google Consumer Survey with $50 of free credit for every person on your team. Actually, it's for every email address you have to register. But you can put out a survey tonight. Some teams get 500 responses by the time they walk in 8 o'clock tomorrow. How much validation, I challenge you, how much validation, how much problem discovery can you do tonight? Right? Really get this concept of getting out of the building, metaphorically and physically. Cool. Any questions about what happens at this point? Any questions at all? Awesome. Yes?
What's the maximum number of teams?
Oh yeah, good question. So I would not go personally above 6 people on a team.
There's a maximum number of.
There's no maximum number. If I need to merge a few of you, if I think that you're not working as a big group or a small group, I'll use that later. But I don't want to inhibit team formation. I have seen teams as big as 12. Inevitably, they end up in dispute and splitting. We don't police it, but the only thing we do police is that there's at least 3 on a team and 1 non-CUA member. That's the thing. Questions? Who's having fun? Who's excited about actually doing some free shit now? Awesome. All right, so go forth and build awesome stuff. Come and grab me once you think you have a team together. Any questions, please come and see me on the other stuff.
So anyone used to and he's still registered. Hey, let's go.
Absolutely, and I'd like to say it's a good starting point. I mean, we're going to mark the money at marbles, so you find all the time. Kids don't see us using coins. Cash, it's all paper. With another company that do pay-grade cards just for kids, which the parents opportunity that sell good financial decisions. Yes. That's the thing, I want to make this more about the kids. Get avatars and they will make sure to use I'm Stephen. Security. I don't think I remember ever not having an AB process. That's all I ever did. That's a solid foundation of like it's a mock-grown tree. Mock-grown tree. Use for their pocket money. So if you've got kids, are you there? So as a parent, you can create the job. Value. You might get there that's worth 10 cents or the help us in $1, $1 or whatever. The next time you buy a job, you get enough buys, and validate it, and then they get paid. How are you going? What's your idea? Primarily
my son learned money on tape.
I would really like to do it. So we're building something that takes business customers to make by producing a service that makes really compelling business customers
Oh, okay. All right, good. I want you to see
So my joy is around that we can
So I'll be with you guys. Well, today, I don't know if that counts. Do I count as a... Yeah, but the problem is I'm only here yeah, if you're ready, just grab a
What's your solution?
What's your background?
Sales. So I'm a CUA person. I'm a sales specialist. And
other things like security blocks everything, right? You want to let someone look at some of the games that are going on, that's what and then we're going to build something more. So maybe once it's credits, maybe a bunch of children, this is research. Figure out how to get a business company instead of having to build it. You've chosen us. Our subject. I invited this guy because he's in just in case you ask like she's on board. Mine is more about touching about the that's when the ship is around, that's when I have yeah, but I want to win by human beings as well, right? I know. Yeah. As fast, if it is a service, if it is a service, actually, if it is a product that we design, it takes 6 weeks. 6 weeks. And they can might be able to do it 5 weeks. Sam might be able to do 7 weeks. 6 to 7 weeks to come up with the same product. That we have to not competitive. Whereas if we provide a service, it takes 18 to 24 months. So that's why I'm sure that service. That's why I'm six with service. We're building an 8 yeah, so if you're building an API, we need an API building. But you're targeting a small business like businesses. Yes, I reckon you might have to target it because you will find the validation reason being I feel a small business myself. I run yes. Yes. It was this easy for me to express myself because for the first 3 years, I was not any
was not moving something in terms of millions of dollars turnover in the first 2 years. I didn't really spend that much time. If only I had 10 years and everything was free, every other bank was charging something like this. So, what CUA was on the when I said target.